Hello there gamers, it's time for another unboxings and impressions video. This time we're going to be looking at the Family Pocket. No, wait a minute, that's not right. The FC Pocket! Yay! Just so you know, I got this one from GearBest for review, so thank you GearBest. I suppose I should do an ad. GearBest! We're the best. I've been told things are moving a little bit too slow, so let's start with the front of the box. It is FC Pocket. On the top right corner, the seal says, I have no idea. More, I have no idea. Hey, what language is this? Chinese? Japanese? Something else? Let me know in the comments down below. Left side of the box says Shenzhen Renshen Technology Incorporated Limited. They got a website too. Crazy. Warning! It looks super important, but I can't read it. Oh wait, no. When the machine's sound becomes mute and controls slow or screen flower or crashes, please immediately replace the battery. Okay. Top of the box. Sweet. It says 30 NFC. That's all I got. Bottom of the box. Hey, a whole bunch of specs I can't read. All in all, you boxophiles will be happy to know that this is a sturdy box and really is quite nice. You know, other than the fact that it's another language. Hey, why don't we open this thing? I haven't used black magic in a while. Oh, there we go. Wow, those buttons are high. Look at how high those are. I'll be darned. By high, I mean vertical height. All right, let's pull this out. Power supply. It uses USB Mini for charging, so it's an older unit, possibly. That doesn't really mean that because they still use the older connection. One cartridge that says I don't know what on it. We have AV cables. Yay, I like when they include those. We have one battery, universal. Well, pretty much universal. Almost everything uses it. We have a satchel. Father, what is in my satchel? All right, it's a case. Sorry, I'm just sorry for that. And we have a manual, and it says, holy crud, it's in English. Huh? Shenzhen City Renshu Technology Limited producer. Oh boy. All right, I'm gonna read just. Let's do the charging. The charging attentions. Please ensure the battery positive and negative electrode is correct when charging. Place the words side should be upwards. I guess I kind of get that one. Please ensure that the charging under the shutdown state as far as possible. The normal time for charging is about 4 to 5 hours. Thank you for that. Please timely charging when the sound of the game machine gets quieter or the screen becomes dark to ensure the normal use. Alright, I can't take this anymore. Anyway, yeah, pretty bad English manual, but that's alright, at least there's some English in it. I get the point. Cable quality, nothing super bad to report, nothing super good. This is just the standard kind of cable you get from here. At least it's not like super plasticky. Looking at the power supply, yeah, it's the same power supply that probably everything uses. Ooh, I am so sorry about that crinkling noise. It is an unboxing video though, so you know, expect some crinkling. Arrgh. There it is. Lovely. Device itself is freaking huge. This is big. Here's the cartridge port. I'm gonna guess it's got games on it and then games in the cartridge. Actually, I don't think there's any games in the cartridge. We opened one of these up once and all it was basically a, it just basically was a circuit that was shorted. So that's just how it goes. All right, the plastics are fairly cheap. The buttons stick out far, which is actually good because that means they probably work okay. D-pad is the same thing. It sticks up pretty high. This is the second time I've seen this done with a D-pad. Basically, one of the problems with a lot of these Famiclones is they have what I like to call D-pad collapse syndrome. Basically what happens is you press all the way to the right and then left, and then the D-pad is locked in position. Some companies get around that by raising the top edges of this, and that's what they're doing here. It's not a perfect resolution. What would be a better resolution is putting something in the center of it. I often give these a pass, but I'm gonna start being a little bit harder on that kind of thing because it really causes you to play differently than you would on the original system, and I think I should probably at least mention that. By the way, the paint application is just kind of weird. That's a neat little device though. More fit and finish notes. This cover here, this little gold cover, it's made of a really pretty darn thick vinyl. It is vinyl, but it's not bad. And it looks like it'll probably hold up. All right, back to the walkthrough. We already covered the D-pad. Reset button usually gets you to the main menu. Select Start. A, B, rapid fire A, rapid fire B. This is in the Japanese arrangement where A is here and B is here. It looks like I'm pretty sure this is painted on. I'm pretty sure this black is painted on. All right, look at the bottom. We got an on-off switch. We got a volume knob. I like volume knobs versus that one little button. There is a space for a lanyard if you are so inclined. There appears to be an AV out. And of course, that is where you charge it. And the cartridge port. Speaker is on the back, not the best place for it. And then, of course, battery space. All right, I'm gonna play this for a while and let you know what I think. You've gotta listen to the startup music. That is so ready to rock. I like that.
1 week later.
All right, folks, so I've been playing this for a week and I have some stuff to start saying about it. Number one, look closely at the D-pad and the buttons. At first, I thought that they had painted them, but I've run this past a couple other people too and had them look at it. I'm pretty sure that this was drawn on with a Sharpie. Pretty sure. Which I don't know if you guys in Europe call them Sharpies, but basically what they are is a permanent marker. I'm pretty sure. I don't think it was painted on. I just think it was a Sharpie. As far as the rest of the paint goes, the rest of the paint held on pretty nice. The color's a little weird, but it does look like a Famicom type of color. And you know what it reminds me of? It kind of reminds me of the Power Rangers toys of the late 90s and early 2000s. If you've ever seen those. No, it would have been the early 2000s. It feels like it. That's not necessarily a bad thing, it's just a note. The decal is held on just fine, as I kind of predicted it would. It gets full of thumbprints, which I also kind of thought it might, and that is absolutely true. The D-pad, this is something I want to talk about a second. Let me pull out the other Famicom clone. All right, so here's the family pocket, and you're gonna note, number one, that this guy's physically larger than it, but number two, I want you to watch this D-pad. You see how I press in and there's still an edge sticking up? This will occasionally, and I mean occasionally, like once in a great while, it'll do a D-pad lock. But I want you to look at it next to this guy. This fights the D-pad lock issue. D-pod, huh? All right, D-pad lock issue by putting a high edge. And unfortunately, it's not 100% successful because sometimes when you roll your thumb over it, it just locks. This one doesn't do that nearly as often. This one's not too bad because you can train yourself. This one you really don't have to train yourself. However, note that it is there and does show up every once in a great while. It might have happened maybe 4 times to me during my entire playtesting, and I've got hours on this. I've recharged it about 3 times. So it's not a serious problem, but it is there. Do note it. I suppose you want me to turn this thing on, huh? Okay, as you can see, the screen is moderately bright. It is not super bright, but it's not bad. You can definitely use it in full daylight without any problems. It's a nice screen. It is kind of small. Since I'm older, I do have to use glasses with it. Sound levels. It's not super loud, although it probably sounds that way here, and it's not very distorted. The speaker holds up. However, the only problem is it's on the back, so sometimes your hand... Ooh, here, let's turn that down. It's in the back, so sometimes your hand will get in the way of it and muffle it a bit, and that's kind of annoying. And I think I might have said that in the earlier segment. Like I said, I record these quite a bit later from the initial unboxing, so I don't always remember what I said. All right, let's go in. You have the choice between Chinese and English or Japanese and English. Who knows? Hit start. Actually, somebody who speaks Japanese or reads Japanese or Chinese probably knows. Let's turn down the lights a little bit more. All right, so right away, I'm gonna go into the only game that I've noted any serious problems with, and that is Gunsmoke. That's unfortunate because it's one of my favorites. It seems to be doing okay at the beginning. Here we go. But, you see how it jumped? That's like, not the camera, oops, sorry. I'm trying to play through the camera lens. All right. You're gonna notice that every once in a while, he just skips. Wait, see how he just skipped all over the place? Yeah, that's a problem. And that's not like the D-pad. That is just it skipping all over the place. This is the only game I've seen this on, but it's something to note if you love Gunsmoke. All right, so I'm gonna page through the menu so you get an idea of what's in here. There's a lot. There's not a mega amount of repeats in here either. I mean, there is a lot of actual content on this thing. You've got the Sonic the Hedgehog hack. You've got Bubble Bobble on here. I'm not going to make a comment on every one of these pages, but, you know, there is some good stuff on here. Snow Brothers, which is pretty darn good on this system. There's these Hot Blood games, which I had never run into before. We're going to play a little bit of Hot Blood story in a little bit, because it's kind of interesting. You got your 1944. I think that one repeats. Dragon's Lair, which is horrendous. Here's another thing that's horrendous, and you don't see it very often on these. Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. Not a game you see real often in these collections, and it's here. One of the worst games ever made. At least if you believe AVGN, which I played a little bit, and I believe it. Ghosts and Goblins. Great game. Hello Kitty. No. Not that great. Rampage is on here. Another game you do not see very often on these. Yoshi's Cookie. There's probably a couple rare ones on here that I don't mention too. There's Xanac, which you see on these all the time, but it's pretty good. Yeah, there's a little bit of repeating here, I believe. Back to the Future. Adventure of Lolo, which you see all the time too. Boulder Dash, that is a great game. Recommended. B-Wings is good. Chubby Cherub. It's a little worrisome. I wonder what that one is. Again, there's so many games. You could spend a lot of time going through here. Here's Friday the 13th, which is absolutely horrendous, but has a following. Hydelide, which is good. Is it pronounced Hydelide? Hydelide or Hydelide? I don't know. Okay version of Karate Champ. Man. There is a lot in here. See, a little bit of Pac-Man. Q*bert. There has to be Penguin Wars. Absolutely has to be. I like Pac-Land quite a bit too, which I know a lot of people don't. Ooh, let's go back. A little Sesame Street. Solomon's Key, I think I've played on this station before. Spy vs. Spy, which is one of the best two-player games, but unfortunately this does not support two-player. Star Soldier. Mario Brothers, it has to be there. Absolutely. I believe it's against the law. I know that a couple people were sad that Tetris was not on some of these, so Tetris is on this one. Thexter, great game. Not the best version of it, but a great game. Twin Bee, which is absolutely fabulous. Love that game. Battle City, been asked about that one too. Definitely there. Wrecking Crew, which was an early Mario game that you never heard from again. Bomberman. Nothing to say there. Got Dig Dug. It's a good version of Dig Dug. Sadly named Deflower. F1 Race, I believe we will be testing that in a little bit because there's a test I do on every one. F1 Race tends to screw up a bit. So if it screws up, that's a sign that something's kind of goofy with it. Got Frontline, Galaga, Galaxian, the standards. We will be playing Load Runner because that tends to have the buttons mapped backwards if they didn't do a very good job of quality checking. I mean, you know, you can just randomly get it right, though. That does happen. Mappy. Here's Pac-Man. Polar Bat, which we've done before. Oh my. Raid on Bungling Bay, which every time I tell you this, play that game. Get the manual for it. You know, like, look it up online, but play that game. It's really, really good. I prefer the C64 version, but it's really good. No matter what you're playing it on. Ye Are Kung Fu. Great in the arcades. Not so great of a version of it. Man, we're almost there to the end. Rainbow Islands. Good game. So, quite the selection here. Flashball. Never heard of that one either. Oh, Shanghai. There's Shuffle Puck Cafe. That's a classic. It's better with a mouse, though. Don't know how you control it with a gamepad. Alright, we've made it to number 472. Let's go look at the second cartridge. Alright, so in the last segment I mentioned second cartridge, but really it's just the cartridge. It comes with one cartridge, and it's not even really a cartridge, it's just really a jumper. What the heck is going on with the bears on this menu? What the heck? Alright. Let's get out of there. Okay, so we got Pac-Mania. Yeah. We have Vindicators, I guess, is alright. Brother Ball. Oh yeah, we played this Brother Ball before. That is not too bad. It is a hack. This is more of a hacky one, I think. Because these are a lot of games that I have not really heard of or I've seen on... Yeah, I've seen these on clones before. Fruit Gift is horrendous. Yeah, the second one, I'm going to guess you would never actually put this in, to be honest. If you bought this, this is just kind of like an extra. Maybe you want to show your friends something really bad to play. But most of these, yeah. Most of these are pretty much garbage. There's Burger Time on here, though. Not the best version ever, but better than the Atari 2600 version. And there we go. Number 128. Let me know if you find anything in this, like, this second, over there, this second cartridge thing. Actually, it's the only cartridge. I said that already once. If there's anything on here that you would actually want to play, let me know. I'm curious. Ladies and gentlemen, meet Crackout. Crackout has the distinction of being one of the few of these type of block games that's actually playable with a gamepad. And it plays absolutely fine here. I would say it's worth the price of admission alone, but it's probably not. It's pretty good, though. It's definitely enjoyable. I played it on the tiny little screen, too, and it was pretty great there as well. Man, get that missile. There we go. Did not let me get the missile. Rats. Gotcha. Oh yeah. I was gonna say, got the penetrator, which would just not be good. Now I've said it. Ooh. Slow that thing down. Did you see it totally went through that brick over there, though? Oh, I wasn't supposed to hit that. You're supposed to avoid that stuff. Oh no, I was. It's a warp. Got it. I know my stuff, totally. Alright, so this is Krakow. Let's go look at another game. Ooh, wait. Alright, let's go look at another game. Alright, so now let's look at F1 Race. The reason we are looking at this is because many of these Famiclones have a flaw, and that flaw is that when running this game, after the first turn, the controls reverse, making it pretty much impossible to play. Let's see if that happens here. Come on. It's a really good pole position clone. And here we go. And guess what? We have perfection. It actually works. Well, I'll be darned. Not bad. It passes the test. Let's see if I pass the test. Oh, no, 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 no. Not gonna. Oh, no. Nope. That's the end. Let's go on to the next game. Alright, and here we have Load Runner. And the problem you often see with this game on clones is tapping the B button will dig the wrong direction. Oops. Darn it. And what that means is when you try to dig to the right, you dig to the left. When you try to dig to the left, you dig to the right. Really annoying. Hurry up. Suckers. Gotcha. Oh, I hate when they spawn up at the top. They always spawn at the top, but they often like to spawn at the top and mess you up. Gotta be really careful. There we go. And I made it out. Works perfectly. That's good news. Alright, so I found another game that's messed up, and it's Gauntlet. What a freaking shame. You can walk through walls. You can't pick up treasures. It's just all messed up. See, unfortunately, I can't pick up that key. The walls are, like, kind of all screwed up, too. This is very sad. I wish they would have tested this. Big loss. Thumbs down for that one. Alright, folks, meet Hot Blood Story, which is a beat-em-up, and it's a fun one. Yeah, I mean, dude's hair is awful, but do you see how I picked up that guy? I'm able to pick him up and beat up the other guy with him. I mean, that is cool as heck. Come on. That's some good gaming right there. I really wish I would have ran into this back in the day. This is good stuff right here. Die. Not a whole lot of variety. But how much more do you need? Alright, let's go look at one of the games on the cartridge, and then we'll wrap things up. Right after I beat up these guys. Satisfaction. Alright, for your pleasure, I bring you our last game, Panzer Attack. Amazing. So, I wonder if this is just a regular homebrew or whether it, or whether it's just like a rip-off of another game. I don't know. This is, high excitement here. I'm just gonna try and kill this third base. Holy crud. No. Get your missile out of here. How many shots is it going to take to kill this thing? There it is. All 3 are now dead. Woo! Stage 2. What do you think's going to happen? Oh, now there's 4 bases. Alright. That is the end of it. Let's get a verdict on this thing. Alright, so the verdict on the FC Pocket. Well, it is a mixed bag, of course. The first thing I'm going to mention is the easiest thing to mention. This thing going on with the marker on the D-pad, yeah, that just can't happen. That is absolutely ridiculous. It looks awful. I'm probably just going to just clean it off and make it red. It would have been better if you just left it red. There would be way less complaints than just slapping on some marker and trying to get away with it. That said, other than that, the construction quality on this is pretty good if you like a big red brick. It feels nice in the hand. I've got big hands, so it's really pretty decent. The buttons work well, and the D-pad is actually really pretty good. It's not a perfect D-pad, but I would definitely say it's better than its competitor here, the Family Pocket, which I'll bring up in a second. All right, so we got that. Construction quality is okay. The screen is really quite nice, if not a little bit small, but you know, it gets the job done. The sound is not terribly loud, however, it is pretty clear even up into the top of its volume, so that's kind of rare. Usually they sound really super tinny or really super crappy. This one doesn't. It's got a really good selection of games for it. Some of them run kind of cruddy. Well, I found 2 that ran pretty crappy, but the rest seem to run really, really good. So, you know, I'll give it a pass because there's just so darn many games. All right, so the price on this thing. This is $30, and that is right kind of in the middle of a BitBoy and a fake BitBoy, and it puts it right next to this guy. So, which do I prefer? Well, I prefer the FC Pocket, but you don't get the multiplayer that you get like with this. I mean, this one, you can play it a second controller and you can play multiplayer. So that is a big deal. However, the D-pad on this is a huge step up from this guy. Again, not perfect, but a huge step up. In the end, this gets one of those almost thumbs up. It's really close to a thumbs up. It's definitely not a thumbs down. If you liked what you saw in this video about it, then you will probably like the device. If you didn't, you probably won't and should probably go looking for another one. I don't think it's bad. It's probably going to stay out after I clean up this crap on the D-pad. Alright, thank you very much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, give me a thumbs up and subscribe for more, and I'll see you in a couple days. Bye!